Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at the CURT Premium 4 hanging style bike rack. This is going to be a versatile but also simple hanging rack. We have a bunch of different features to make it easier for you to load your bikes up, but you also have some pros and cons when it comes to a hanging rack. We'll take a look at them right here at etrailer.com. It does weigh 41 pounds, so it's kind of heavy but not super heavy. And that makes it easy to lift up and then put into your hitch receiver. You want the hole in your bike rack to line up with the hole in your hitch receiver. With it lined up, you can then use this anti-rattle bolt that goes through, and then you have to thread it to tighten it down. You do get a stamp tool, but I prefer to use my own 3/4 inch ratchet wrench to make it a lot easier. Don't forget the clip. Give your rack a little bit of a shake to see if it's secure in the hitch receiver. If you do see some movement, it might be in the mast, so tighten the knob in the back to secure the mast too. So I have some strong opinions about hanging racks. I do like how compact they are and how they take up less space. They're easy to store inside your garage, but they're a lot trickier to load bikes up on because of the limited space. The CURT Premium though has a unique feature which makes it a little bit easier. The last two cradles have a tapered design where it's closer together. So for your smaller bikes or your different size frames that need adapter bars, this gives you a little bit more wiggle room. The cradles can adjust to your bike's frames. So you have this rubber strap which can be secured to any of the tabs, and you can actually move it to different tabs if you want. This could come in handy when you need to turn the cradle around. So in this case, if you have a smaller frame or you need more space for a longer frame, you can pick and choose. So you start with your heaviest bike and make sure the drive is facing you for the first bike. Lift it up and get that onto those cradles. I utilize two straps here to work as an anti-sway cage. So the first strap goes over the frame and into the tab, and then the second strap goes around this tube and holds that in. So with hanging racks, you're still gonna get a good amount of sway. You also have the stabilizing strap to be run through your front wheels. But when you get more bikes on there, they all are supposed to just sway together and control each other. So let's get that on. So this is not gonna work out. We have two mountain bikes and we have handlebars going into spokes and chains on tires. This is not gonna get onto those two cradles. I'd have to move it to either an outside cradle or put a different bike on there. For some bikes, you may need to use a frame adapter bar. This is commonly used with children's bikes, women's frames, or step-through frames. Sometimes people like to use it for their mountain bike frames as well. So this helps give you more of a level surface to sit on your cradles, and might be the option for you to getting all your bikes to fit. Even with the tapered arms, there's still a limit to how small of a kid's bike you can get to fit on there. For example, this is a bike for a 5-year-old. We've got 16-inch wheels, and the triangle on the inside is too small to fit over those cradles, and we can't get a bike adapted bar short enough to fit up top. So this is gonna have to find another spot to be stored, like your trunk. Training wheels will also need to come off before loading. So that was not the funnest thing to do. Getting all those bikes on there, trying to figure out how to get two grown-up bikes, two small bikes, training wheels, cradles, bike adapter bars. Definitely expect that for the first time using a hanging rack. You're gonna have to figure out what configuration works for you and which way to move the cradles around. But after that, it should be easier moving forward. Not the easiest, but easier. Last thing you need to do is just double check everything and then you're ready to hit the road. This has 180 pounds total weight capacity, which is about 45 pounds per bike. Again, follow the heaviest closest to the vehicle and lightest further out. The ability to carry more bikes means more space that takes up behind your vehicle. So measuring from the center of our hitch pin hole to the end of the rack, that's going to sit at 40 inches of length. This has red reflectors on the end to help with visibility at night if they don't see your bright and shiny bikes behind you. And for security, you do have a welded bracket here in the back, perfect for running your cable locks through and then bringing these through your bikes. So this does not include the cable lock. You can use any of your own. I recommend using at least a 9-foot long cable lock. We have some options here at etrailer. But when you secure them around your bikes, also remember that it only has a pin for the anti-rattle bolt and does not include a lock for that either. So here with riding around with the bikes behind us, we went through the alternating speed bumps and the side-to-side movement there was fine. Everything held together. It's when we went through the normal speed bumps up and down that there was a lot of movement. You could really see the bikes go up and down as well as the mast. Now when we did our slalom though, which is our quick turns and our quick U-turn, I really liked how this all held together. Even without a strap, you could see that the bikes were stable and they didn't sway much. You can also see at the hitch that the movement is mainly up and down. That's because of the anti-rattle bolt, which prevents the side-to-side movement, but the mast still has that upward motion with the bikes. When you're done riding the trails, you have to load your bikes back up onto the rack, drive home, and when you park at home, you have to take the bikes back off. So as much effort as it is to put on, you're gonna have to do that again. So taking the bikes off is the exact same process with the straps and your bikes. Be mindful though that there may be a lot more mud or dirt when you return. When you do have your bikes off, I do recommend still putting the straps away in their tabs. That way they're not flopping around as you drive around. This can be more compact with using this pin and this clip. So you just pull that clip and pin out, drop the arms down, and pop that pin back in to secure it in this position. Some measurements in this position. So the length is now going to be 16 inches from the center hitch pin hole to the end of the rack. The mast is still 10 inches away from your vehicle, so that's going to be the closest point. Now to tilt it away, you have a pin and a clip as well as a lever. So take that clip and pin out, loosen the knob, lift the lever, and drop this down to a tilt. So that way you can open up your hatch, open up your trunk, or possibly lower your tailgate. Now when you put it back up, don't forget your clip as well as to tighten down that bolt in the back. So when comparing this with other options, if you want to compare it with other hanging racks, we talked about the tapered design and you saw how it works with the children's bikes. But if possible, please try to consider a platform rack. I have the Hollywood Racks Destination 4 bike rack right here, so it can carry the same number of bikes, but you have the stability of a platform rack, and it's a little bit easier to get your bikes on there and fit them together. The main downside though to this over the CURT Premium is look at how little space the CURT Premium takes up. This one takes up more space. It weighs about the same and is about the same when it comes to installing it and lifting it, but storing it is trickier. So if you need to store something quickly and easily, go with a hanging rack like the CURT Premium. If you want to load your bikes up more quickly and easily, go with a platform rack. Hopefully this video helped you out with seeing the struggles of carrying around multiple bikes, especially ones of different shapes and sizes. Hopefully also you learned some tips about how to make it slightly easier for you, like taking off the training wheels, or moving the cradles around, or using frame adapter bars. As helpful a hanging rack can be with how compact it is, if you have a lot of bikes in your garage, what's another bike rack? In that case, please get a platform rack with how much easier it is to carry them around. But if you really do want a hanging rack or need to get a hanging rack, The way this tapers towards the end really helps out with carrying around those smaller bikes a lot easier. And you can also get this bike rack in a 5-bike version. For an affordable rack that can carry around a lot of bikes and has a good amount of versatility, this was a look at the CURT Premium Hanging Style Bike Rack here at etrailer.com. My name is Evangeline, and I hope you enjoyed the journey.